Good evening, everybody. Here I am again. I believe this is video number 7. I just want to talk to you after that heavy boost, good boost, positive boost that the locomotive just took on. I realize about now, when you're listening to my story, things might be rather confusing, hard to follow, might think I'm crazy or whatever. Therefore, right now, we're going to slow it down a little and I'm going to explain a little more to you. The important part is that you understand what consciousness is, what full consciousness is. To me, it literally means, and I sure hope, by this point, those of you who've been following along, I sure hope you've taken the time and read what full spectrum consciousness is. It's not a joke to me by any means. I I guess I'll just share with you what full consciousness is to me, full spectrum consciousness, what I'm going through, and realize I haven't studied this stuff. I want you guys to research it on your own. I don't want to convince you of what it is or anything. I'm just telling you my truth out of love for you guys and for everybody. But basically, what I'm going through is when I woke up, picture having your conscious, which, you know, your soul, and picture having your subconscious. Ironic. Right there. But anyways, so let's picture them as two beings. And this one, when you start off in life, is a little teeny tiny baby. Your soul, the strength of your soul, if you will, or whatever you want to call it, your universe within you, or wherever you give your strength, because, you know, I don't agree or disagree with any of it. I totally understand. And the crazy thing is, I know it's all good. But anyway, you have these two parts of you, or I feel parts of me, because remember, this is just my story that I'm pulling from my memories, from my, well, I guess, subconscious mind now. I'm pulling from there. And what my subconscious mind is doing ever since I woke up, it's going through all the memories I've ever had in my entire life, my physical life. And it's literally looking at every single thing I can remember and first acknowledging the negative so that I can find the good in it, the positive. And each time I'm doing it, I'm getting more and more strength. And I'm telling you, this is exponential. Yeah. And every single day, it's getting quicker and quicker and quicker until I know ultimately when, if you will, I'm totally purified, is when I have truly removed all negative from my existence to where I've let go of my wrongs. I've admitted to myself where I've been wrong and I have made tribute for that. And tribute just means being honest, you know? For example, recently, um, I actually just had another amazing positive interaction. Never in a million years would have thought this would happen. My conscious mind knows it would, but my subconscious mind now doesn't or didn't. It does now. Now it's just on for the ride because it believes in everything what I'm saying, as crazy as that sounds. And people of you who feel that you're spiritual, I love you. I love everybody who doesn't. I love everybody. But my spiritual listeners, you know, if you're truly listening by now, you know what I'm saying is true, and you have absolutely no reason not to believe what I'm saying. All you have to do is listen to all the videos. I have nothing to gain. I'm not trying to, boost an ego. I'm just honestly talking from my heart, telling you how my story could potentially solve every problem in the world. And all you have to do is simply love yourself enough to listen. But anyways, the great interaction. Um, and the reason why I'm talking about this right now is because this is going to connect to the very next video I post. And the very next video I post is one that was recorded, I'm pretty sure, the hours before I caught the plane headed to Ukraine. So it was, my brain's kind of a fog from back then, but it was getting pretty close to a year ago. And I had officially volunteered as a Foreign Legion volunteer for the Ukrainian defense, is the official, best I can remember. And I was one of the first volunteers, and I went there and I was very specific that I wanted 100% no gain to myself. I didn't want any money. I didn't want any really recognition. All I wanted to do was, with all my being, I want to do everything I could to stop the negative in the world. People hurting, people dying, people that really sadden me. But you'll see it in the video. And realize that was recorded before I was conscious. So you're going to see a total difference between the two. And as you keep watching, you're going to see me keep changing. Because, if you will, I keep purifying. I keep working backwards through all of my memories to find the good. But so, here I am. This positive interaction. Woo! This is amazing. I'm sure it is. So, this individual who up until I woke up, thought was one of the absolute worst human beings on earth. And the reason why is she had messaged me right before I took my SIM card out in Ukraine when I was getting ready to go to combat. I mean, I'm talking minutes. And she messaged me and she said some of the most horrendous things she possibly could have. I mean, that she even knew. And later, she admitted that it was wrong, that she had been intoxicated. I understand. I don't judge, whatever. But at that moment in my in my brain, my physical self, at that moment, all I could think of is that this person literally wanted, knowing I was getting ready to more than likely go to my death, she knowingly wanted me to have all these horrendous thoughts in my head as I die. And I thought to myself, wow, if that is, if that's hell, holy cow, having those right as I die. I don't know the answers that your illusion is going to understand. All I know is the truth. And the truth is 100% good. But so think about that. The worst things that had ever been said to me in my life, minutes before I thought my life was getting ready to end. And it had to do with things that were the dearest to me in my heart, my daughters. Yeah, whoo. But anyway, We just recently had an interaction where I apologized to her. I told her I was so sorry for any negativity I ever brought onto her life. Oh, but back then, though, I had typed out, ooh, the most threatening, evil, harsh thing that could possibly I could come up with. Basically saying that, hey, when I get back, ooh, that's where I was at. But within seconds after I sent that message, I got this deep feeling in my heart that something was wrong with that. That's not who I am. And I didn't want to do something so bad right before I might be dying after just thinking that, ooh, no, hey, no, 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 no. So I really quick, thank goodness for good old, I think it was Messenger. You get, you get to unsend to everyone like it doesn't even exist. If nobody's read it yet, to you, you're the only person that exists. Now let's think about that as far as your illusion, your what's made up of all your memories that you know good and well does not match up exactly with anybody in the world. Just remember that. Then, after I told her, how sorry I was for all the pain I ever gave her, you know, not listening, anything I ever did wrong, I am sorry. And I told her that she should probably, start watching these videos because my story is interesting. It's very interesting. And it's a great story. I think will ultimately be one phenomenal story. And the funny thing is, the story's already starting in autopilot. It's already starting to write itself. And I know that doesn't make sense because you're not conscious. And if anybody out there feels they're conscious, please contact me. And guess what? If you're more conscious than I am, I will submit because all I have is pure intentions. All I want to do is tell a story about love and how simply loving yourself enough to listen could truly save all the problems of the world. I mean, simply think about it. If you truly love yourself, unconditional, undeserving love, you would not allow yourself to feel any pain. You would not allow yourself to hate because that's negative. You would not, all these different things. And I know that's a very confusing way of thinking. And I know a lot of you picked up on that. And I know what happens is, and I've seen it with my clients that I've talked to, is there will be a point as my story goes along that it's confusing, it's hard to understand, and you won't totally understand it until the very end. But there becomes a point when your brain is now also kind of starting to tell the story. If you haven't already felt yourself while listening to my story, throughout the day, think about anything I've said, one, because that's positive. That's a good thing. You know, your brain though can hit a point that it will just feel like mush. And hey, that is totally understandable because think about it. The energy that your soul has that's able to fire all these neurons, realize more neurons in your brain, or, they're firing receptors. I heard this somewhere. I'm not 100% accurate on anything. Please research it yourself. You're going to be amazed. Hear it in your own words. Don't hear it in mine. But something to the effect of the brain has more receptors than there are like stars and planets in the entire universe. That's a lot. Woo! Now, let's stop and think. That's a lot of receptors. Just think of even the most micro amount of energy it takes to fire that many receptors. Okay? Now, let's add some more in there. Realize everything that your life experience is vibrations. If you don't understand, please search it. It's really easy to find. Everything that exists is vibrations. Even your life experience is vibrations. So here we have all these receptors, and we have your brain. And what your brain is doing from the beginning of existence, it is receiving vibrations, from the very beginning, like I've said before. It only knows to survive. And in order to survive, it has to look for the negative, which is anything that will be a danger. So as it grows, it keeps going along. Everything it's looking for first is the danger, negativity. So as it matures, the brain ends up developing a pattern where it's first looking for all the danger in life out of survival. But all that danger is the negative that it's first looking at, because it spots it, and it knows to stay away from it because it doesn't want to hurt. Think about it. Every single cell in your entire body, by itself, and I'm not educated, I don't even know what the name of it would be. Amoeba, or I don't know. I ain't no genius, trust me. But so every single cell in your body, individually, the only thing it knows whatsoever is to survive. Okay? Now, what makes all of these cells come together? Well, your energy, the beginning, God's energy, or whatever you want to call it, in the very beginning, starts making these cells attach, grow together. They all start connecting together through this energy, through this vibration. Then you have your birth, what you consider your birth date. Okay? And as your brain is developing, it's collecting all this information, let's say programming. Danger, negative first. Positive, good, but it's second priority. Negative's always first. So you keep going along and collecting all of these memories, but also all of this negativity, to the point where it literally starts changing your perspective on life. I'm sure you can understand that. If you can't, I'm sorry, because my consciousness, I can't explain it well enough, and by all means, I'm not being degrading. I literally want to talk to every single person on Earth. Sounds crazy, sounds like a Martian. Thinking about Martians, okay. How many of you listeners out there have, as a kid or whenever, thought to yourself that if a Martian was to land on Earth and was to say to you, Oh, my little friend, come with me. I will explain all this craziness. None of this will have to happen. None of this, everything's good. Just listen to me and I'll tell you. I know a lot of you, probably as a kid, because you were more awake in a lot of sense than you are now. I know a lot of you had that feeling. Oh, you know what? Back then, I thought you guys were crazy. I thought you were making it up. Now, what I realize is you were more sane than I was. So, anyway, that Martian, if you still think that way, without using what you've been programmed to think by what everything has been taught to you, without using that and filling in your heart, or, at least fill with your heart too, what would that Martian look like? In your head, what would it look like if you're not pulling from a movie image or something like that? Well, how do you know someone's not lying to you? Because honestly, the first thing you looked at was the negative. So you wouldn't even know for sure. You know, if it seems redundant, I'm really sorry. I'm trying to explain it to everybody. And yes, it's incredibly hard to understand. And it took a tremendous amount of energy from me for me to even understand myself. But so as it goes along, and really, oh man, I'm starting to run out of energy again because, ooh, yeah, my back's coming back too. That's something. You know what? After the earlier video, um, I paced again. My brain just, my body's kind of on autopilot, but my physical self, when I am getting ready to do another video, it's crazy. I find myself pacing back and forth. You know, thoughts spinning 100 miles an hour. And the things that keep popping up in my head are reminders are like, the story is only a good story if I tell 100% of my truth. My truth is coming from my consciousness. It's also coming from what my life experience was that was recorded in my brain. So I hope that there's people out there that are already starting to put it together, starting to get it and understand. And I'll keep trying better and better and better to understand. But please realize I'm not crazy at all. Literally, all I'm trying to do is love every single one of you the best I can and help you understand the best I can. And I know that just this tape and this recording is going to make me sound really weird and is probably going to bring a lot of positive and negative energy towards me. And I understand, and I know the potential that it could. But please just remember, all I'm doing is simply telling my story about the wrongs I've done in my life and how I found finding the positive in it and forgiving myself and forgiving everybody else has given me more and more consciousness. I'm really starting everything. Every single thing I think about now, I instantly know the truth. If you looked up consciousness, I'm pretty sure that's probably what it says. Like I said, I maybe glanced once or twice looking at trying to figure out if I was going crazy in the beginning. And then all of a sudden I just stopped and thought, wait a second here. I try to believe the positive in everybody else. Why haven't I stopped and thought about the positive of what I'm going through? And then right then, I realized, wow, there's really something to this. And at some point in this story, you'll get it too. I know you will. Every single one of you out there are amazing. And you know what? Every single one of you out there deserves unconditional, undeserving love. Hey, and by no means do I think I'm anything special. Trust me. Wait till you hear the rest of my story, because I'm going to tell all my secrets, all my wrongs. Because guess what? It gets clearer and it makes more sense. And I'm getting lighter in every ounce of my life. Heavy, heavy stuff. Imagine how this story, just simply me telling my story about my life, imagine how potentially if someone's only thinking about the negative, how scary this story is getting. Why would you be thinking about the negative when I'm only talking about the positive? I'm only talking about love, solving every problem in the world. I'm not a hypnotist. I'm not, I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy that's done wrong in my life, that loves every single person in existence enough to be honest and to be real about what I've done. And because I'm willing to do that, you can't believe the things that I know. And the only reason why I can't even share them with you just yet is because, one, I would lose you from listening to me. And the reason why that's important to me is because what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to tell you through my story is pure grace. I know by now it's probably going to spark up a bunch of different type of religious beliefs within your own religion. Hey, and you know what? I guarantee you, every single one of you listening, your God, the God that you know in your heart or your universe or whatever, that is your God. And that is everything. So believe in that. Don't believe in what I'm saying. Believe in your God. Because remember, I'm fully conscious and I know it's all the same. And I love it all. I mean, even as extreme as you could go in one direction in a religion, and extreme to the other. Boy, that extreme, that kind of reminds me of political parties. We'll talk about that at some point too. And guess what? I'm not against any of them, and I'm not for any of them. I understand them perfectly. And if you can just listen to what I have to say, I guarantee you there's going to be some people out there that are going to start getting some really smart ideas, because I will give you the things working back in my head thinking this way, the inventions that I've come up with using my illusion and my consciousness, potentially have the ability to change everything in the world. I mean, I'm talking medical industry. I'm talking security. I'm talking other things too, but we won't talk about that until a later point, because I don't want to sound too crazy. I don't want people not listening to my story, and I don't want to necessarily offend anybody at all. And I gotta be careful that I don't offend anybody, because I don't mean to at all. I just want to love you, and I just want to teach you how to love yourself. Anyway, all right. Yeah. The next video. Um, on the locomotive here, we need to pick up the veterans. All the veterans out there. The ones currently serving, the ones that have passed, the ones in the future. We need to think about all of those veterans in every single country in the entire world. Everyone's illusion is different. But I guarantee you, every single veteran, somewhere in their soul, had good intentions in every single thing they did. Look at me. Desert Storm, Desert Shield, Marine Corps, U.S. Marine Corps. Ukraine. Don't think for a moment that I didn't think I had absolutely nothing but the purest intentions. When I look back, you know, I see things that I just I just get it. I understand. I understand both sides. I understand where both presidents are coming from. But hey, I don't want to get too much attention. I just want to say I love you all. And I look forward to talking to you soon. And remember, hey, the old veteran out there that you see wearing that greasy hat, always wearing the same veteran hat, the ones you've had negative thoughts to before, guess what? That man or woman was willing to put their entire existence on simply out of protecting you guys, no matter what country. That's all they were doing. That's pretty heavy. So now think about that when you see the disabled vet missing a leg and people get annoyed by him. I'm not saying all of you, but a lot of you do. Shit, I'll be honest, myself, being a double veteran, I actually felt almost a little bit of shame when I looked at my brothers. I'm sorry, you guys. Yeah, that's heavy, huh? I tell you, this story is just going to get deeper and deeper and deeper, and it's going to make more and more sense. And you'll understand that I have nothing but good intentions. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind on anything. All I'm simply doing is talking from my heart to y'all and pulling from my brain and talking backwards. And the reason why is because my conscious self, I know how important this is. I really do. I know that I don't have time. One, because I know that my physical self doesn't have that much more time. No, don't be thinking all depressive type stuff. No. That is not me. Don't even let those waves come towards me. I just know. And I'm at peace with everything. Because remember what I said, every single thing about that I think of, as soon as I can acknowledge the negative, I see the positive. Every single question that will ever be asked to me, I'll be doing the same thing. First, I need to acknowledge the negative, and I look at the positive, and that tells me the truth. But guess what? Even before that, if somebody is not simply looking for the positive and their only intentions are the negative, I won't even feed into it. That's just feeding into negativity. Right? So, this point forward in my life, if somebody is not looking for a positive, simply looking for a negative, even if it's simply to try to prove I'm wrong, hey, I get you're trying to prove you're wrong, But ask the questions that are leading somewhere positive. Because how can I defend your illusion? I can't. Because we truly can't see the same picture. So I don't possibly know what you're thinking. And please, I hope there's some mathematicians out there or something that are paying attention and that are getting on board and realizing that there's something about this. Because I guarantee you, there's an equation in this, a algorithm. You probably already know it, and I don't even know it because I haven't put the energy into trying to figure it out. But there is going to be some answers to things you don't really even know yet because you're not conscious. And it's not an ego. I'm just being honest. You know, even crazy things that pulling from my illusion, my memory, every single memory I have, because I try to not even watch TV anymore because it's too intense. I get so many messages. I literally look through Netflix, and when I'm watching what's the titles or whatever, I'm kind of seeing the picture and the title at the same, almost, but I know what the message is going to be. That seems like, imagine how crazy that seems. Even I know my physical self knows how crazy it is for me to even say it, but I know it's the truth. I'm conscious. And this isn't a joke. This is very important because one thing I have said all along, if you simply listen, I know exactly how to solve all the problems in the world if you love yourself enough to truly listen. And that requires you to give yourself unconditional, undeserving love. It means not allowing yourself to even have any pain. And sooner or later, I'll explain to you physically how that's possible to get rid of all that pain. I haven't purified enough, so I don't have enough energy built up yet to be able to do it. Shoot, as you saw in my back today. But it is interesting. When I get negativity, that is when I notice the pain the most. But when I'm feeling positive, when I'm feeling love, feeling the grace of whatever you want to call it, I feel light. I mean, I truly feel light. Like nothing hurts emotionally, nothing physically. Everything makes sense. Everything is good. Everything is exactly how it's meant to be. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And imagine my physical side, Trent Suing, as what you all have known me in my life. Imagine how much energy it takes to calm myself enough to even be talking about it to you guys right now. And the reason why I'm able to do it is because I love you guys and I'm trying to help. I just want to tell my story. So please realize how awesome of a story this is going to be. It's going to be a story that is never, that your brain does not even know exists. And I'm not pulling from anywhere other than my brain. Might be bits and pieces of movies I've seen or whatever. I have no clue. Can you think back that quick? Think of how quickly I talk, how all these ideas are just coming up randomly out of my head. I couldn't possibly lie this quickly. I ain't that smart. Oh, and by the way, the brain can only think one thought simultaneously. All of us who have thought that we're multitaskers, that's not true. The brain can switch back and forth between tasks really quick, but still, it's recording every single action that takes place in your entire life. And back to the, receptors, imagine how much power that takes. to be able to do that, to be able to process all those signals simultaneously out of protein. My illusion recalls the brain mainly being protein, if I remember correctly. One other fun thing that this is going to be for you. Not for me, because I know everybody's going to think I'm crazy again. But let's stop and think. Your entire existence has been, back down to the basics, vibrations, programmed from a negative perspective first. Okay? All your programming also has a lot of other negativity going on simultaneously in your environment, constantly, while you're being programmed. This is your brain. This is your program that's developing. So you're collecting all of this information, and yeah, earlier I said that I hit a point that I'm going to start running out of energy of my physical self. I'm about to that point. And what consistently kind of happens as I'm going through this process, working backwards, if you will, purifying, um, hasn't happened much lately. It's happened today. I don't get a headache in the front of my head. It's actually more up here. Yeah, it's quite intriguing. I It's nothing bad. It's almost like I feel like different parts of my brain now are activating, and I'm straining each part of them as I'm going through, as I'm talking through all of this stuff, because now my brain is going to that part. And, my illusion from my memory says that generally accepted is like, I don't know, like 10% of our brain is used. There's nothing, anybody out there, unless they're more conscious than anybody out there that could possibly say that that is true. I mean, within itself, that doesn't even really make sense. Because the person that would say that is only using 10% of their brain too. So if somebody's using more of their brain, then they would say it's a higher percentage. Are you following me? That in it within itself proves that it's not true. And I'm not going to give my opinion either way, back and forth. But another thing that you guys need to start thinking about is the word worship. Let's be very basic and let's be just pure honest with ourselves. And I'm not going to go very far into this because I realize this subject is going to drain so much energy out of me. I know it will recharge me back tremendously from all the negativity that I'll receive from it, and I'll turn around and make it a positive, all strictly for the good. I have love for every single one of you. And I'm not anybody. Shit, I've been a loser in my life. Looking back, my conscious self looking back, I was like a drooling idiot when I was alive. And imagine that. I'm sitting here telling you that on permanently recorded as soon as it posts. It's permanently recorded. I can't ever go back from saying that. Why in the world would I do that? Unless there is a story that I feel that is so important that it's heard, that I will put every ounce of my energy into getting it told, because, and my possessions, everything. Because if I am conscious and I know what I'm talking about, and I truly love myself, unconditional, undeservingly, there is no other choice. Do the math backwards. I mean, it just doesn't even add up. A lot to think about. Believe me, I have nothing but good intentions. I'm not trying to start any trouble. I'm not starting any riots, nothing. No, zero. I love everybody. I agree with everybody. Don't come at me, please. I'm only trying to do good. Yeah, and those of you that get exactly what I'm saying, you really might want to start watching the activity in the comments and the likes and dislikes, because that's going to start showing exactly how right I am. I'll take the positive and get strength from it, because first I'll acknowledge the negative and I'll look the opposite to find the positive. Very, very simple. I hope there's scientists out there that are going to hop on this or whatever. Please, I want to talk to anybody. I'll explain it to you. And I know, like I said from the start, my consciousness means that I know I can talk to each and every one of the human beings in the world and be able to explain the way they need it to be explained to make sense without questioning your faith, without questioning anything. I want you to be you. I don't want to change you. I don't want anything. All I want you to do is know you from inside. You know, everybody knows that you feel lost at times and so on. Everybody also knows you feel these deep feelings in your chest. You have knowings that really you don't think you really should be able to know that. And you know what? You start questioning yourself, because everything you've been taught teaches you from the negative first. It teaches you to doubt. Mental illness. Imagine, as you grow up, let's take the first time you start feeling anxious because you're taking on all these negative vibrations and you don't even know what in the world is going on. So you start getting anxious. You start feeling horrible. You don't know what to do. So you talk to someone. You talk to your mom. And she loves you. She had none, absolute, perfect, beautiful, amazing intentions. I'm not by any means saying anything negative. But you go to your mom and you tell her how this is making you feel. You might get the first response like, "Oh, just ignore it. You know what you're going to be fine." Because she probably has a bunch of other kids she got to take care of. But here you are. Only in your brain. That's the only thing you can know. And you're trying to explain what you're feeling, because you're feeling all these negative, negative, negative things. But then when you keep trying to point out to the one you love the most and the one who loves you the most, she says to you, "Okay, fine, I'll take you to a doctor." And the doctor has the purest of intentions of all. Well, most of them. Even though I'm conscious, I still got Trent. I still got all my memories. And the doctor, he hears what you're saying. And now, because he has I want to believe he has the purest intentions. So he's going to first have you go talk to a counselor. And that's so hard. I said that in the beginning. That is so hard to get into. Because guess what? The mental health industry is so underfunded. I mean, why is that? Why don't we love? The people who are sick, the people who need help, why don't we want to help them? Something's not right. You know, before I went to Ukraine, I have no clue who it is, what his name was or anything, my memory. But I believe he was like a foreign nationalist or something that was over there. And it was they were all trapped in Mariupol. And I hope everybody knows about Mariupol. I really hope you know, because that was something so horrendous that was going. No matter what side you're on, for or against or anything, you had people that were injured. You had innocent people and kids that were starving to death. And people dying going septic. Basically, their body poisoning themselves. It was everywhere in the world. Everybody who was willing to stop and simply listen would have seen it. The soldier pleads to the entire world, says, please, take us, take the soldiers. But help the innocent. Don't even take us to the country, take us wherever you want. But help the innocent. And you know, when I heard that, you want to see the Taurus in me flare up? Oh, yeah. Because right then, I didn't even realize it at the time. I do now. Right then, my spiritual self, my energy within me, if you will, my God within me, because your God is within you, and I believe it's all the same. Oh, I woke right up when I saw that video. Yeah. And I was like, I choose to cease to exist if this type of stuff in the world is allowed to continue. Because that's not right. And if I don't do everything in my power to try to help one direction or another to stop it, then I'm part of the problem. And I'm just as bad as everybody that's doing the worst of worst things. Because I'm not doing every single thing I possibly can to stop it. And really, how can I even complain about either side? Yeah, that's a hard one, isn't it? That touched every single person in the world. Yeah, you guys need to listen. Everybody in the world needs to listen. This is important. This is the neatest story you will ever hear in your life. The coolest story you will ever hear in your life. It's going to make the most sense, but at times it's going to totally confuse you. And it's all good. But in the end, you will be fully conscious. You'll be aware. Whew, that gave me another charge, because when I thought about that video, I think it came out on BBC or something. That video, I can still feel the inner protector, the inner beast in me. All the testosterone in me, baby, was firing all at one time. Every single cell in my body, I was feeling it. I thought it was anger. I thought that wasn't good. Looking back on it, I know what it is, and guess what? Anger isn't good, no matter what. Shit. It saved my life many a times in combat. but it's not good. And you'll understand why as I keep talking. But realize now at this point in the story, you're hearing a man that is telling you that he's full spectrum consciousness. He's asked anybody out there, hey, whatever you want to ask, if I have the energy, I'll answer it. If you're looking for the positive, seeking the positive, the true answer, because I'm not going to try to even seek a lie, the negative. But yeah, and I know it jumps all over the place. Hey, it's not my brain saying all of this. This is my soul. This is everything to me that is talking to you guys. All because I love you. Unconditionally, undeservingly. Because I love myself. And it all started because I loved myself to simply listen. Please, people, start to wake up with me. And those of you who feel you totally get it and are already awake, I just ask, how come you haven't jumped on board yet? Why don't we pull together and exactly use all our energy to solve every problem in the world for good? Hey, every problem, every pain, every suffering, every single thing. That is also what is considered full enlightenment. How do I know all this stuff? Because I'm awake. It's black and white. Every single movie I see, I instantly see the positive in it, the messages, the truth. And every single movie in existence was written specifically that way because it had a message that had to be seen. It's all black and white as soon as you choose to listen. And I mean, every song, every movie, every single everything is the same message, the same Bibles. Everything has the same message. And it's so black and white as soon as you choose to just see the positive. And this is literally instructions with zero harm. I'm not looking for a cult. I don't have friends. And honestly, I don't have the energy for friends. And I don't want any enemies by any means. Because I'm trying to use every ounce of my energy to explain this to you as quickly as I can to help. I'm sure you've already started feeling, if you've listened up to this point and followed along like you're supposed to, you're only supposed to move on to the next video or move on in any video if you're still hearing in your head what I'm saying. Because by the time I'm done, by May 19th, you also will be as conscious as I am. And I'm offering people to win money just to simply listen to me so that I can help, so that I can help you understand pain, help how the brain processes stuff, all these things. Oh, and the pyramids. Crazy, crazy, crazy. This is going to get a lot of attention, I know. My consciousness and pulling from my memories, every ounce of my memories. And I've flown when I was in the Marine Corps right over pyramids. I mean, Desert Storm, Desert Shield as we're headed over there. I've been to Egypt, Africa, Israel. Yeah, Israel. Oh, and by the way, you veterans, I know all of you can appreciate this. Man, this computer stuff, I really could use some help on that. This is my sear tattoo. So in the Marine Corps, yeah, this is going to get some attention. So in the Marine Corps, I went through SEER school, and it's 100% voluntary. And I actually was certified Class C, which is the absolute highest level. Pulling back from my memory to give you an idea, I remember something about there being the tailhook scandal in the Navy, like a naval commander or something. I think she filed sexual harassment charges on the Navy. And by all means, I don't support sexism. I don't support racism. I don't support anything negative whatsoever. And we'll talk about that more later, and you'll understand, and it'll make sense to you. But I only have so much energy to talk about it so quick. But, yeah. Oh, my name again. Good old Suing. Just made me stop and think. I better keep my mouth shut about SEER School, because if my memory is correct, I signed something that said I would not talk about it. Guarantee you that got a lot more attention. I'm not trying to play a game with anybody. I'm just talking from your heart. And I'm ready to talk to people that are truly willing to listen, looking for the positive and not seeking the negative, because nothing gained. And if you haven't started realizing yet, this is literally a universal language, because all of it comes back down to vibrations. You understand? So math, no, is not the universal language. The universal language is vibrations. Positive and negative vibrations. Now, I'm starting to pick up every single scientist that's listening. And I bet you this video will end up reaching the highest, most intelligent people that are listening. And good, because that's why I just mentioned that. And I'm not playing a game. I'm conscious, and I'm just trying to get you guys to listen to the story so that I can wake you up a little bit. Out of love, out of grace, out of ending everything that's bad in the world. And I'm not talking by doing it by anything negative by any means. Gosh, no. Not like, oh, no. I don't even want to say the words, because bad connotation even saying that. All I'm saying is I love each and every one of you, and I want you to love yourself. And I'm not going to do anything. My old decrepit butt has no intentions other than just simply gathering up my energy enough to tell you my story. And like I said in the beginning, it's going to be entertaining to some of you. It's going to be scary to some of you, kind of crazy to some of you. Oh, no. Right now, I would think crazy everywhere. But now, remember what I said, the messages are everywhere in the TV that I go. Now, start looking and seeing how conscious you are. I mean, truly conscious, without using the negative that you've been taught. Start looking around. Go on Netflix. Okay, look on Netflix. Let's see. Drawn from my memory, I believe there's some documentary on there that official released government documents of proof of Martians. And no, I'm not some conspiracy theorist whatsoever. I don't care if the world is flat or if it's round or whatever. That's all y'all's problem. I don't care. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want to feed into any negativity. I'm just trying to purify, working through all this, and out of pure, unconditional, undeserving love, I want to share it with you. That's what I've been saying all along, to solve every single problem in the world. That's super, super deep, super, super, super important. And it should be to every single person that's alive. Because now, You've already noticed the strongest negative points itself out first in your surroundings. I hope they're not in your home, because I don't want to cause any problems at all. I'm only trying to help you realize how to love yourself and how to solve all of the problems. I'm sure the biggest negative that will come to me, something tells me the first one that's going to come to me is going to be the biggest negative of them all. Because if you haven't been following along and listen like you're supposed to, you're going to think I'm crazy, or you're going to think I'm up to something bad or whatever. But I assure you I'm not. I love you. I love everybody. I'm not trying to do anything wrong. I hope somebody out there gets what I'm saying and feels it in their heart enough and is conscious enough to reach out to me. Because come on, you gotta be realizing, your conscious mind is going to say, wow, he felt alone before. Imagine how alone I feel now, knowing that there very might well be nobody else on earth as conscious as me. You would think that'd be the absolute biggest feeling of loneliness, but it's not. The reason why I had to feel that way my whole life, all my memories, the reason why I had to feel like nobody ever loved me, like I was all alone, was because so I could go through what is happening right now. Because I know the more I keep talking, the more alone your brain, if it was to for 1 second care about me, will think he's self-destructing. He's going to be so alone. Here's something deep, but I know it's I'm not, as funny as it sounds. I've never been with more love than with more eventually support, simply out of getting you to love yourself. And I know your God, whatever it may be, I know you're right. You what you feel in your chest is right. What you know is right. And I don't challenge any of that. I honestly just have the purest intentions, because I love each and every single one of you on earth. Everyone. And if at any point, like right now, if you feel, wow, there's really something to this, please love yourself enough to love at least the person that's dearest to you, and at least get them to listen with you. Nothing else. So if I'm crazy, so then the person that means most to you, maybe they can help point out that you're wrong for even believing what I'm saying. Because trust me, I don't want to convince you one way or another. I just want you to figure it out for you through yourself and through your God or wherever you get your energy. Anyway, I'm sure I'm probably run out of time on how long I'm recording, and I don't have my glasses on. And if at any point I look like I'm a crackhead or something, I swear to you I'm not. But we'll talk about drugs, addictions, and how to not have them, how to permanently cure addiction, how to truly understand addiction, and how to not feel really any pain about anybody who has an addiction. Because, I mean, let's stop and think about it. I bet you there is a bunch of people out there in the world. We're going to talk about one drug, and I don't support against, I'm just telling you what I know from my consciousness. Let's take one that has a really, really bad connotation. Methamphetamine. Let's just be blunt. You guys can fill in all the other blanks. I don't know what your illusion refers to it as. I'm just pulling from my memory. And my memory tells me that that is the same as products. I think the name was Adderall or something. And if I remember correctly, I think that's basically methamphetamine. And then, if I also remember correctly, I believe methamphetamine might be in majority of surgery rooms because it might possibly save your life, if I remember. Hey, do your own research. I'm not telling you what's right or wrong. I'm telling you what is in my memory from what I've been programmed, from my experience in life, from my parents teaching me. I mean, every ounce of everything, all viewed from a negative perspective first. You guys, come on. This is really simple. You'll get it. Trust me. I'm not making fun. I'm just reassuring you that this is absolutely nothing good. This is in support of every single one of your gods, your beliefs. I'm just conscious. And evidently for the first time, pulling from my memory, I can't think of anybody ever saying any of this stuff, especially when it's for the good, especially out of love, especially for free, especially not having anything to gain other than simply getting you to listen, and actually everything to lose. And if you think back, I've even brought attention to myself just in case there was any possibility there was something wrong with me. Why would I possibly be doing all this? I mean, really? Because I love you guys. And I know the truth. And I'm conscious. I've even said, anybody more conscious than I? Let's talk. All I have to do is ask you one question and I'll know if it's true. And guess what? You only have to ask me one question to know if it's true, if you're more conscious than I. And I will submit. Yeah, wow. Obviously, this locomotive took off a lot quicker. Ooh, we're getting up to about, what was my memory call it? Bullet train. You know, I was in Japan for a while. What a pleasant country. I mean, true gorgeous country. I was mainland, and the way I refer to it as is just as beautiful as Oregon in a lot of ways. Same type, except honestly, I felt everybody there was way more peaceful and loving and caring. Back then, the average house didn't even have locks on the doors. Bicycles weren't locked. Umbrellas were everywhere. I mean, yeah. Hey, I love with my entire being America. I love with my entire being China, Japan, every single country in the world. You all equally. I love you unconditionally, undeservingly. And you know what? Every single agency, every single psychologist, every single scientist, every single, criminal, everything. I love you all equally, unconditionally, undeserving. And I'm not saying I'm God. Remember that? No, I'm saying I'm a loser. And the only reason why you're hearing what you're hearing is because what you've learned up to this point in your brain and your heart, that's what's telling you what's right and wrong. I'm not making you feel it. I'm not hypnotizing you. I'm not doing anything. And if you think it's weird that I feel I have to keep explaining that, It's because I guarantee you somebody in the world might have been thinking that right at that exact same moment. This is, like I told you, this is going to be the absolute best story you've ever heard in your entire existence. Or if I'm wrong, it's going to be the absolute dumbest story you have ever heard in your entire existence. All on whether or not I'm right and wrong. And the only thing I'm basing it off of is true love for myself, unconditional, undeserving, which requires me to love every single one of you, unconditional, undeserving. That is weird. I just saw lights change in the house. Anybody in here? Weird. Anyway. Oh, hey, one other weird thing about being conscious that I noticed and compared to before I woke up was when before, as a tattoo artist and getting into doing literally 3D tattoos, you can now imagine how I didn't even realize it, but through what I was already processing, I started seeing tattoos totally different than every other tattoo artist in the world. Boy, that's going to get a lot of attention too. Because I will end up discussing how to be, truly the world's best tattoo artist simply by loving yourself enough to listen when I say it. And this isn't an ego. And I'm not claiming I'm that person. Yeah, boy, that just took on a lot of people onto this train. And guess what? I welcome all of you. I love you. I do not intend to offend any single one of you whatsoever. We got some other passengers that are going to be coming on that are going to be confrontational initially. Your conscious, your physical brain initially is going to feel extreme confrontation between you and some of the, let's say, other passengers on this locomotive. But trust me, every single one of you are good, and every single one who's coming on is good. Because we're only going to look at the positive. We'll acknowledge what your brain initially is going to feel as the negative. I'm going to explain it to you to where your brain understands that actually it is a positive. It takes a tremendous amount of, concentration initially. And anybody who feels what's funny is anybody who feels that they're probably the craziest the most, honestly, are the closest to waking up. Oh, that hit a lot. I bet you that hit all the mental health professionals and all the mental health patients. I love you guys, both sides. You all are right. I understand it all, remember. And it's all exactly how it's meant to be, and it's all good. And I know that is an extremely hard concept to understand. Just love yourself enough. Hey, and guess what? I had to tell someone very dear, dear, dear to me, who I know is starting to think I am literally insane. And this is, all I asked him was to listen to his heart, his God, whatever it is. I can't judge. I can't know. How could I possibly know what is right and wrong? I mean, listening, none of it truly can be proven. So, of course, his God is the same God I believe in, the same God you believe in, the same God everybody believes in, because everything's good. I had to tell this man, I had to say, please listen to your God inside, whatever it's telling you, please listen to it and see what it says, why you could possibly come up with a reason not to listen to me enough to even read what full spectrum consciousness is. I can't even communicate and help you understand if you don't even know what I'm going through. And a lot of you, that's going to hurt right there. But to me, I understand it. And actually, that gave me more strength. And I will keep getting more and more strength out of people have good intentions. So that's positive. But they don't realize they're looking at it in a very negative way. So, but then I will look at that negativity that they don't see and I will turn it into a positive. And now we've just supercharged the whole entire experience. And imagine if all of us did this with our own selves. And then all of us started doing it together as one. Imagine how powerful that is. Yeah, a lot more attention there. You know, I literally could talk nonstop and just get you guys going through this, but I know what would happen. Because look, how many times have you seen, just in this video, me say, oh, whew, you could see it and I was drained, and then all of a sudden you see me pop right back up. You know why? Because your inner self, your God, whatever you want to call it, literally has all the energy of the entire universe. Your God does, right? Right? And your God is within you. I'm not saying who's right, who's wrong, nothing. I know it all is. I know that's going to hurt because now it's going to feel as if like I just challenged and realize I don't even know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to a camera. But it is going to unfortunately hurt a lot of people because their illusion, your brain, from your programming, is going to feel I somehow am challenging your own religion. But I assure you I'm not. Especially when I don't even know what your religion is. How could I possibly be doing that? What you're feeling right now, anything that you're feeling in your chest or getting chills on your skin or in your spine, what you're feeling, that's the one true answer. That is your God. Whatever it may be, it's not my business. When you feel that, go towards it. Keep feeling it. When I say go towards it, don't do anything that your brain knows is dangerous or unhealthy or unloving or anything like that. No. What I'm talking about is center. Calm yourself. Get away from the negative vibrations. You know, if it takes headphones to get rid of all the negative vibrations in the background, or if it takes sunglasses to black out what you're seeing. I mean, if you're having a hard time even following these videos because you think I'm so unattractive, guess what? That's okay. It's all vibrations. Everything I'm doing is vibrations. I'm giving you pure positive vibrations out of love that I have. All of my energy. Think about it, people. I am sacrificing every ounce of energy and resources I have to try to get this message to you. Why would I be doing that if I had nothing but good intentions? Yeah, people are going to start getting scared now. And I'm sorry. I I probably got this locomotive going a little too fast right now. So I'm going to lay this story to rest for the evening. I know you know in your heart right now, and if you don't, at some point you will. You'll know that exactly what I'm saying is right because your God will tell you it's right. And I don't even know what your God is. I don't even know who you are. Imagine how powerful what I'm saying is in all directions. I mean, I'm talking outer space, I'm talking economics, I'm talking um, environmental. What I've already told you is the answers pretty much to every single thing you could want to know. And the crazy thing is, you already know it. You just have to be able to allow yourself to acknowledge the negative and look for the positive. Every single hurt that you've ever felt. But it doesn't hurt because guess what? As soon as you acknowledge it, boom, your soul instantly finds the positive. And you actually get to the like, woo, damn, that's easy. That's the beginning when it starts happening. Once you truly start becoming conscious, you'll recognize that your brain is actually starting to see things and feel things differently. Even as if, like, maybe after watching this video, if it's late at night, you might end up waking up in the morning either with a headache from what I've said or feeling lighter, you know? And either way is good because I know what both of them mean. And I know how your brain is going to respond to what I'm saying. Not because I'm manipulative or not because I'm a wizard or any of this insane or anything. Because I love you. I'm simply just willing to talk to you out of love. True love. The only love. All positive. Please hear me. All right. Yeah. Woo! Busy, busy day. I got to get ready for my busy day tomorrow tattooing. So if you guys don't hear anything from me tomorrow, just know I love you guys. I'm doing well. If by chance there's the slightest of you that, are concerned about me as a human being, that's truly talking straight from my heart about how to solve every problem in the world, and I have not said anything to hurt you, your brain and how you have been taught is how you're deciding whether I'm right or I'm wrong. That just picked up a lot more people. And it's hard to process. It hurts. It feels like it hurts. And it doesn't hurt. It's draining. You'll find you're going to want to take some more naps. Hey, and if you truly are getting what I'm saying and waking up, and somebody starts resisting you and having issue with you understanding what I'm saying, then just look at them and say, hey, simply just listen. If you care, just simply listen to what I'm saying, and your heart will tell you what's right or wrong because that's the only one real truth. Now, I want to talk to all you scientists out there. Realize my conscious self, I can honestly say that I have seen infinity, literally, in my meditative state. I have seen infinity. And what's funny, my brain wants to call infinity plus one from like some movie or something. Well, actually, There's a truth there. We want to talk. And it's all good. Don't think now I'm like some space alien or nothing. I'm not. It's just we haven't been conscious enough yet. Doesn't that make sense? Think of the Egyptians. Oh, by the way, the pyramids was the absolute best way to communicate with your God. Keep in mind the amount of neurons in your brain, they're firing, like I said. More stars and planets in the universe pulling from my memory. And I think that's probably pretty correct. Make the connection. Now, the pyramids. Let's think. I'm going to pull from my brain, my life experience, the only thing I really have to pull from, unless I want to watch TV. And then I'm sure I could pull the answer up then. I can actually pull up the internet. Everything you think is negative, I find the positive in it, and I know the truth. And that's so empowering. It almost seems like magic. Egyptian, or not Egyptians, I love you too. But musicians, the magic guys. Let's talk. I love you guys too. And here's a major, major negative to some of you when I even say it. But anybody that, practices any religion, I welcome to talk to you. I love you guys too. You all are right. You're just not conscious. You're just missing one piece. All Bibles are right. Just one piece missing. Think about what I'm saying. I'm saying I love all of you. All of you are right. And it's all good. That should be very, very powerful. And I am interested to see what I wake up to tomorrow, so that I continue telling you my story that I'm pulling from my memory, that I have even said to you before that I know in all actuality doesn't exist. Oh, and at one point I mentioned time travel. You guys, here we go on that conspiracy theory again. No, no, no. I don't know what your brain's going to think. So how can I try to persuade you? You could think I'm crazy or you could think I'm right. I have no clue. Your heart knows. So time travel. Pulling from my memory. Let's see. Well, time travel. Well, let's make it, excuse me, because I want to pick up everybody. Forgive me for being childish or whatever. But, and by the way, that was a real belch, excuse me. Very unclassy, but I am unscripted. I'm just talking to you from my heart. The now I'm embarrassed. See, now that just woke up my my physical side. Think about the vibrations of simple belch and think of how much negativity has been stored in my brain, and I've felt towards other people that have belched out in public or at a dinner table, or you can keep going with the story. It's already told. It's already told in your head. You can apply it to everything. Just like everything up to now, you can apply it to everything. It's all positive. None of it's negative. It's all true. True to me and my consciousness. And I have zero ego. I don't think I'm above or below anybody. And you know what? If you want to be above, okay. If that's what you need, you're above. That's fine. Okay. Because all I want is good. All I want to do is love everybody. All I want is to end every single problem in the world. really stop and step back and think. Everything I'm saying, why in the world wouldn't that be the most beautiful, amazing thing one could ever say in recorded history? But now, let's go from every single listener in the entire world's brain. Realize nobody sees everything exactly the same. Now realize how every single person in the world, even in the future, how this all starts wrapping up together. Yeah, something tells me I lost you guys there. Anyways, I love you guys. Have a great night. I'm done talking. Um, and you know, I'm gonna try to make this a little more fun. I'm gonna see if I have the energy to maybe change outfits or something. But um, you know, realize how it felt when I realized that I need to talk to the entire world and expose the absolute biggest secrets that all of us, one way or another, would never want the world to find out, and have absolutely nothing to gain in the world by doing it other than trying to truly give grace to every single person on earth. Yeah. Anyways, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And we'll be talking soon. Bye bye.